All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. So, tonight's live stream, guys, we're talking about things are getting really bad. Now, I only came up with this title because I was talking to a few guys today, and everybody, guys, seems to be on the same page. Loretta, thank you for the 5x5. Rhonda, Ozark Prepper, Peaches, Finley, the dog, By the Book, Flown Grown, Justin, Krista, thank you for the 5x5. Ed Case, thank you for the 5x5. Angelwood, Maria, Dobie, Eric, thank you for the 5x5. Wooder Dude, Beef and Chicken, Crow, Lisa, Tony, Scott, Keebles, thank you for the 5x5. Susie, Brian, Paul, Stormy, thank you for 5x5. Michael S. Sergeant 11 Boy, Nancy, Deanna, Amy, thank you for the 5x5. And Simon's Diamond Soul, thank you for 5x5. All right, so now things are getting bad on all fronts. And we were talking about earlier today, or at least people were asking me, what do you think is going to happen as far as later this year, the election? And we've come to the consensus, a lot of us come to the consensus, that possibly something can go wrong, or something really bad could happen. Not saying it will. Let me start out by saying that I know that a lot of channels are telling people what's going to happen this year, what's going to happen at this year's election, who's going to win, who's not going to win. I mean, we can all safely say that Trump's going to win. I was hoping to see you with Trump yesterday. Yeah. Listen, I wasn't downtown. I wasn't downtown at the firehouse that Trump showed up at. So that would have been nice. I mean, again, not a big fan of him, but I still would have, still would like to shake the man's hand. Shaking his hand is better than dealing with the two assholes we have to deal with, or the three assholes we have to deal with here in the city. Right? We have to deal with Eric Adams, Letitia James, sorry, that makes number 4, Kathy Hochul, and then President Biden. Right? So we got to deal with a lot of jerk-offs around here. And anyway, that being said, guys, we are going to talk about what could possibly happen at the end of this year, and a lot of things leading up to it. Now, one thing that I'm noticing is the uptick in bird flu conversation. They are bringing it up more now than they did, let's just say, 2 weeks ago. And just about every week since it was on the radar, there's been new articles and new warnings and new worries, because scientists are always worried. These are the same scientists who are probably scared of their own shadow. There's a lot of things that can happen. And some of us are seeing the signs, and some of us are seeing, not the signs, but the possibility of something happening right before the election. Some of us are seeing the possibility that Trump could get assassinated. Now, we were talking about that earlier today, but then the more I thought about it, I said, that's less likely to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but I think that's less likely to happen. If anything happens to Trump, you could almost guarantee an instant civil war, or at the very least, a very, very super divided country. Divided to the point where there'll probably be skirmishes, but I probably wouldn't call that civil war. Or you can have civil war. But the other side of that coin is, I don't see Democrats making him a martyr, because I think that's what would happen. The WEF is behind a lot of shit. I agree, Toolmaker. But I think some things are out of their control. I think some things are just, they're running with it as well, or rolling with it as well. There's a new, I just heard about this kid, I think in North Carolina, that was killed. And the cops shot him. I think there was a car chase somewhere. Or no, there was a car chase. They didn't shoot him. There was a car chase. He got into an accident. He died. And the media was trying to play the angle of if the cops didn't chase him, he'd still be alive. And so did his family. His family was playing that angle. So there is another divisive angle that they're trying to take, but I don't think a lot of people are buying into it because, again, if I'm not mistaken, I think he stole a car and wind up rolling it in an accident, or he was being chased by the cops in his own car and he rolled it. Either way, they were trying to make another divisive moment. Now, with that, guys, I think, again, there's so many other things that can happen. There are curveballs. And the bird flu, like I said before, is something of a drum that they're beating. It's almost, guys, as if every day they're like, oh my God, did you hear? 24 cats died from drinking raw milk. Right, the next day, you heard? Some of the cows are acting strange, but not exhibiting any real signs of bird flu. And they're like, all right, the pandemic, the bird flu pandemic is now putting the world on notice. I'm like, what? We've been on notice with this bullshit for like a while now, a couple years. But they're like, oh, we really need to have a pandemic preparedness in regards to the bird flu. All right. So here they are, guys. Once again, trying to scare the shit out of everybody on a daily basis. For taking it. Yeah, Loretta, I would like to watch that video. I'm not sure why they would go to jail for taking ultrasounds of their cows. Like, what would that do? Anyway. So excuse the cough today. I don't know where the hell it came from. I mean, it came out of nowhere. We did walk into a building that was being demoed. So that could have been it. I don't know. But anyway. So they're just trying to... listen, they're trying their best with the bird flu. And I think they're trying to slowly warn the public of the possibility of this turning into a full-fledged Mr. 19 event. That being said, I spy. I was about to say that. I see more bullshit on the horizon with this bird flu nonsense. Now, is the bird flu real? Absolutely. Is it as contagious as they're leading it on to believe? No. I think that it's spreading like wildfire amongst animals, and yet I do question a couple of things. Again, I'm not a scientist, so I would have to ask a scientist this. But how does a disease like the bird flu jump from bird to cow to cats? Yeah, the cats drank the milk, but still, isn't there a DNA sequence in there where a bovine and a feline are both different species, but somehow these cats died? And they died from some kind of brain like degeneration or some shit like that. It was weird what they explained, how they explained it, and that in itself, I was like, that's weird. So that doesn't sound like the bird flu, but still, what do I know? I'm not a scientist. But they're definitely going to scare us more come election season. Or not election season, but election month. I think that if something gets away from the CDC or the World Health Organization, it's going to be real. And I think the bird flu is very real if it can jump to humans and sustain itself within the human race. Now, again, just because something jumps to a human doesn't mean that we're all going to die. There was one farmer in Texas who had the pink eye. They tested him. They found out he had bird flu. Now, I don't know how the pink eye and maybe a cough led them to testing him for bird flu, but nonetheless, they did. But nobody else caught it. And he was around other people prior to him going to the hospital, or getting checked out, rather. So it didn't catch on to anybody else. So I do see them, well, I can see them beating the fear drum a little more, getting people a little more scared, a little more nervous, and then people falling for whatever bullshit comes next. And the reason for beating the drum of that is the mail-in ballots. I see that coming back, and they're going to lightly sprinkle some bird flu hysteria on the people, and people are going to be like, I'm not going to go out there and vote. And then, of course, they're going to do the whole mail-in ballots, and we all know where the mail-in ballots is going to go, what that's going to turn into. It's going to turn into, I guarantee you, if the mail-in ballots thing pops up, a second term for Biden, which right now, it's virtually impossible for this man to win. This man right now, Biden, could save 12 small kids out of a burning building, and it still wouldn't do anything for his popularity. It still wouldn't change the minds of people to vote for him. People are suffering all over this country. Everybody on a daily basis is complaining and crying and carrying on about their daily life being disrupted because of either A, the migrants that are here in New York City or whatever city you're in, B, the amount of food, the inflation that's crushing everybody and making life harder. People are having to choose what they can buy and what they can eat now. I mean, listen, that's first world problem shit. There are people right now that have nothing to eat, so excuse me on that one. But it seems like, guys, the whole migrant situation is being ignored. No one's, not no one, but he's not talking about it. Hell, in fact, Biden didn't even address the whole college issue until, yesterday? His administration, as everybody was saying, they were acting like this shit wasn't going on. So now you got an administration, guys, who's not paying attention to what's going on. Or at the very least, it seems like they're not paying attention. You got followers who are like, well, Biden, Lord Biden, what you have to say something. And I don't know what he said or how he addressed it because I don't care. Do I think the college protesting was a big issue? Not really. I mean, it's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It was very entertaining to watch college kids act like idiots. It was very entertaining today to see what happened yesterday in some college in California where a bunch of kids made makeshift shields. I wish I could show you how they did it. But they made a makeshift shield out of a garbage can, plastic garbage can. And they put little handles on it. They screwed holes. They had the handles on this side. And they were running at the cops. Keep in mind, guys, these kids, they were boys. They must have weighed, 98 pounds. Imagine being a college student weighing 98 pounds. No self-respecting man should weigh below 200 pounds. But whatever. That's an argument for another day. So, with that, guys, these kids, the video starts with them running from out of a building. And they're a good 70 yards away, running out of the building. They run down the ramp. They run towards the cop. And in my head, I'm like, watch this shit. Because I saw the kid. The kid looked like bitch weight. He weighed that of a fucking small child. And he's running at the cop with the shield like he's fucking Captain America. I was waiting for him to throw it to see if it would come back to him. He runs at the cop, and the cop it was like the kid ran into a wall. The kid just fucking doosh, and it was on the ground. Then they grabbed the kid by the foot and pulled him into the army of cops who I hope was beating the balls off of him. Johnny 308 said 200 pounds. Yes, if you weigh less than 200 pounds, if I weigh 200 pounds, I look like an Oompa Loompa. Well, it also depends on size. I mean, granted, if you're like 5'5", yeah, maybe you shouldn't weigh 200 pounds. But if you're over 6 feet, you should be 200 pounds. Right, Adriana. So Adriana said she saw it on Truth Social. This was all over Instagram. I saw it on Instagram. Listen, never in my life have I seen these, like, the determination on the kids and the way they were behaving. They acted like they were stopping some kind of injustice. It was weird. I mean, like, you should have seen these kids with their little shields and shit, like, fucking, like they thought they were the Avengers. I was waiting for a fake Iron Man to come out of the fucking sky. And some kid painted green, acting like the Hulk. These were like children acting out their worst fantasies. That made any sense? But, yo, it was insane. Yeah, ladies, I said man. I said no self-respecting man should weigh less than 200 pounds. Not woman. Yeah, I see some women like, if I weighed 200 pounds, I'd be a no. Men, not ladies. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a big bitch, but, sorry, big girl. But, yeah. I'm talking about men. Anyway. So, again, I've never seen anything like it, guys. Like, you guys have to look for these videos. They're all over Instagram, they're all over, yo. I can't explain the determination in their eyes. They had this look like they were going to accomplish something. Like when the kid was running, he ran like he said, I got this in his head. He's like, with the little shield. And then he runs to the cop, and the cop just completely floors the kid. And I'm like, man, what was he thinking? Like I'm 260 pounds. I run towards a cop. It's going to be a bad day for both of us. If I have the upper hand, it's going to be a bad day for the cop. But this kid, it was like a little infant child running at the cop. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what I was fucking seeing. I really couldn't. I was floored by that. Charging the cop with a shield. Little man-made fucking bullshit shield. I mean, they're all man-made, but whatever. So anyway, guys, come to find out, a lot of the powers that be are now trying to say that there were agitators in the college making matters worse. Do not, for a second, take the blame off of these kids who decided that they were going to be assholes for the week. And now it's fucking biting them in the dick. Now, granted, you can't blame agitators. That's like saying there's a riot outside, the Rodney King riots. I break into a Target back in 1980 or whatever. There was probably no Target back then, but bear with me. And I come out with a TV set, you know, the big TV sets, because they didn't have flat screens back then. Come out with a big TV set, and I go, outside agitator. And I point at some kid that's like fucking, you know, beating up a fucking gang member or some shit. Or I point at the cops. I'm like, they agitated the whole situation with Rodney King. Like, people have to take blame. They have to have accountability for their actions. And the mayors and the colleges are already making excuse for these kids. So if they won't get expelled because the outside agitators caused them to do that. That is complete and utter bullshit. These kids did what they did. These kids did what they did, and they should suffer the consequences, and that is getting expelled or, well, yeah, getting expelled. Period. Let's not make fucking excuses for these monkey kids and their monkey bullshit. So anyway, Anarchist. Jesus, I could never say that. Oh my God, I always have a problem with this part. Anarchist. Jesus. An anarchist group was pushing anti-Israel students to arm themselves, hijacking buildings, and being hostile towards cops. A troubling anarchist website is encouraging anti-Israel student protesters to escalate the violent demonstrations to a whole new level by urging them to hijack buildings, arm themselves, and use the protest as a movement against the police. Here we go with the bullshit. Now, when it comes to the media, guys, I rarely believe anything they say. And I know a lot of people, you guys will report something and you guys will tell me X, Y, and Z. And I never believe a lot of the shit that's said because I've been on certain fires. I've been in certain EMS runs when I was an EMT back in the days. And even as a firefighter, we're occasionally on some high-profile EMT cases, and you'll see articles about it. And you'll look at it and go, that is not how that went down. They're cops. A lot of you guys who are police officers on here, you guys have seen shit in the newspaper that you were involved in. You're like, that's not how it went down. So they always, not that they embellish things, they often leave shit out, and they often add shit that don't exist. So a lot of that goes on in the media. But these anarchist groups, they just, I don't get it. So anyway, the anarchist group is named, their website is called crimethinc.com. Crime Think with a C, not a K. Crime Think. I'm such an idiot. I'm like, Crime Think C. And then on top of that, my eyes are really fucking shot. But dude, until I go fucking blind and I can't even see myself on that screen, then I'll get glasses. Anyway, so it's crimethink.com, which describes themselves as a rebel alliance. These motherfuckers think they're in Star Wars now. All right. Analyzes the protests erupting across U.S. campuses and gives students advice on how to up the ante. Organizers should, this is from the website, organizers should not concern themselves with de-escalation or remaining peaceful, one analyst of the encampment protests at the University of Illinois Urban Campaign read. Neither remaining on the defensive nor being compliant will protect us, but being dynamic and meeting the cops head on might. Meeting the cops head on. Head on to what? What? Whatever. Let's go, because this gets better. Plywood, insulation board, lumber, scrap wood, metal sheeting, garbage cans, water barrels can all be used as raw material, and some can even be sourced from campus dumpsters. Be creative and be brave, the website states. It also told students to avoid negotiating with college administrators. This is awesome. This is coming from an anarchist website. These motherfuckers are sitting there. And listen, the guy that owns this website is probably some fat fuck that lives with his mother at 45 years old. He's well over 200 pounds. He's probably pushing 330. And he's just fat, eating bonbons, watching Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I'm dating myself. And sitting on his little internet thing, trying to rile kids up. Again, he's probably a grown-ass man doing this shit. But anyway, still. Negotiations delay the police raid and diminish our ability to fend off the raid. Basically what they're saying is that by negotiating, you're letting the cops get the upper hand by or planning a better raid. Cops don't need to plan a better raid against these kids. These kids are built out of paper mache. Again, these kids present zero fight for PD. I watched a female cop in a video. Looked like she was beating the balls off some kid. I mean, like, yo, she was giving him the business with the fucking nightstick. Oh well. And that was a boy. Pretty sure it was a boy. Maybe it was a girl. Who the fuck knows these days? You're all right. Like the other night, guys, when I mentioned the kids asking for food and water. You barricade yourself in a building. Now you want food and water? I'm like, where the fuck did you think that this was going to work? How did you think that was going to work? These kids, guys, are... Anyway. I'm going to refrain from fucking browbeating the shit out of kids. But with society, guys, everything is getting worse. I opened the newspaper. Rather, my New York Post on the phone, and then news break. I open that up, and I read a story about a 14-year-old girl who stabbed a 15-year-old girl. I'm not sure what they were fighting about, because I couldn't get past the title, the headline, sorry. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what is going on? Then you had the body of a kid that was just found recently. His body was badly decomposed, probably like a few months. They're trying to figure out what happened to him. You got an old lady with dementia who was just sexually assaulted by some dude. Might not have been just, but I just saw the video. You got women making rap videos on guys having sex with her and her not knowing who the father is. And she was holding the sonogram in the video. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Guys, let's leave the bad shit out. The stupidity level of the human race is beyond something that I think we cannot recover from. The amount of people, guys, that are doing dumb shit. Like one chick was talking about how she was giving two brothers head at the same time. Why would you do a video like that and then release it? Tiger Man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Like, what is that about? The amount of bad shit that's going on. There's evil, there's bad shit, and there's stupidly bad. And then there's retarded. I'm watching these girls, like this one chick, I just watched the video before I got on here. She was like, I think she said CVS. And she went in there to buy some stuff, but she didn't have any money, so she walked out with it. She comes back to go and try to steal. She goes, I could pay for it, but why do I have to pay for it if I could just take it? She goes, they don't really, I think she said they don't have the right to stop me or something like that. I was like, the entitlement, guys, is infectious. It's super infectious. I mean, like, everybody, like, I thought it was just within the black community and their entitlement bullshit and, like, give us this and give us that. Yo, it's worldwide. I'm at a loss for the shit I'm seeing. And every day, listen, I don't know, guys, if I'm getting old and I'm, like, just going to use an old man word, flabbergasted. But I'm like, how the fuck does that work? Like, I've seen some shit. I've been through the 9/11 bullshit. I've been through a lot of shit and seen a lot of shit and seen a lot of bad shit. And yet, somehow, the human race continues to astonish me with the stupidity. Now, with evil, I'm never, ever surprised. Ever. But with stupidity, I am. Because I don't understand how people could be that stupid. I am floored. How people think that they can steal because it's their right. She goes, oh, these guys were patrolling the stores, so I couldn't. This fucking lady. What the fuck? Sorry. Prep to Adapt, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Is that for a new chair? Is that what that means? Whatever. Anyway, thank you for the donation, Prep to Adapt. So, with that, also, guys, I'm sorry. Well, whatever. These donations are going to go to that kid by the end of the month. They'll still have it up. But also, for those of you that did donate to him, whether that was through GoFundMe, thank you for donating. I have to say that. I donated earlier. I'm going to donate again with the YouTube channel money. But, yeah, again, thank you for donating. This guy's going to need help. So, supposedly, things are turning around. And they're looking to see how they can get this kid covered through the fire department. Now, I have to say this, guys. This is a big sidetrack, but bear with me. Eric Adams, on the subject of the young man who died of a heart attack after the FDNY let him go in December because he had a heart issue. And because he didn't complete probie school, they had to let him go. So they let him go. In December, he died about 4 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago now, sorry. With that, they asked Eric Adams 2 days ago. They asked Eric Adams 2 days ago about the situation. And Eric Adams goes, and I quote, he didn't pass probie school. He wasn't able to pass probationary firefighter school. And we had him in a spot, but we had to let him go because he wasn't able to finish or accomplish his job as a firefighter. He goes, and I quote, that is not how taxpayer dollars work. This motherfucker just sat there on national TV and said, we can't keep him on because that's not what we do with taxpayer dollars. But yet, my tax-paying dollars and everybody else in the city who works, that money is going to support illegal immigrants who came across this border illegally. And yet, they couldn't hook up one dude who had a problem. If Eric Adams had testicular cancer tomorrow, that still wouldn't be, he'd still be too good for that. That's how a bag of shit he is. Eric Adams is the worst piece of shit on the fucking planet. This man, and the crazy shit is, after making that statement, he said it with a straight face. He was just like, that stupid face he has, like he has one of those punchable heads. But anyway, not the point. The guy is the most unprofessional man on the planet. I'm pretty sure there were others, but he's the only that I know of. And he couldn't fucking say, you know what? We're going to do the right thing by this guy. We're going to fucking make sure that his wife and his family are covered medically and financially. Done. That is the only thing that comes out of your mouth as a mayor or as a leader. Or if you're really staunch by the book, then make sure you're not fucking putting enough migrants on a payroll from New York City. We are giving illegal immigrants money to spend. These people came into this country illegally, then started stealing shit in New York City, or around the country rather. Sorry. They've done all of that. They've gotten enough handouts, but you couldn't fucking give this kid a Frio. You couldn't be like, you know what? He tried. He's sick. Maybe he got that from overseas, being a Marine. Maybe he got that in Camp Lejeune. Who the fuck knows? Not our fucking problem. But he served his country. He was ready to serve his city. And he served the brothers when they passed away and helped out with the family when they passed away, when he was in the ceremonial unit. Helping the chaplain out, sorry. And you couldn't give this one kid a pass. That's how piece of shitty Eric Adams is. Shit, Dan. That's a fucking tough question. He just asked me, who is worse, Adams or de Blasio? Both of them have punchable faces. You want to kick them both in the fucking head every time you see them on TV. You want to kick the shit out of your TV set every time you see them. But alright, but you can't do that. They're both assholes. Both of them were arrogant. I mean, Eric Adams was a cop, so I'm more disappointed in Eric Adams because he was a cop and he knows how the city runs. He knows exactly what is needed to make the city run. He ran on that very campaign. Let's see. De Blasio was just a fucking fake Italian who was like, oh, hey, yo, cannoli, you know, and he fucking got rid of his father's real name, or he was half Italian or some shit. And de Blasio ate pizza with a fork. So anybody that eats pizza with a fork should be smacked in the face with a pizza and a cannoli. Eric Adams does a lot of dancing and shit and wants to hang out with the young folks. Adams is an old fuck. It is time for you to play bingo, put on your slippers, and shut the fuck up and sit down. I don't know. It's a hard one. I can't decide. If I had to save a life, who would I save? I don't know. That's a hard one. I probably wouldn't save either. If I had to choose. I don't know. You know what? Maybe de Blasio, because de Blasio is the reason why the city's in anarchy right now, is because of him. Adams is not trying to clean it up, but at least he's trying to fake that he's cleaning it up. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Thank you for asking me that confusing ass fucking question. That was like asking me if you want ribeye or, no, that's a bad one. I was going to say cowboy steak. Cowboy steak. Forget it. Yeah, that's like asking who's the sexier lesbian, Ellen DeGeneres or Rosie O'Donnell. That's around the same, right? There's no, yeah, no, thank you. That's a fucking, anyway, whatever, guys. I'm sorry for taking that side note, but all hell's breaking loose in the city, guys, and in the country. I think we are way more divided now. Well, let me walk that back. I am seeing a movement with Trump, and I see a movement that Trump might be bringing a lot of people together. I don't know, because there are so many Democrats right now that are like, yo, we got to vote for Trump. We have to get out of this mayhem. This mayhem is like out of control. And not that Trump could save us, but he can make things a lot less, he can make things a lot painless. But I don't think he's going to be able to stop what's going on with the migrants. I know that he said that he might deploy the military. But to deploy the military to catch migrants, that's a giant no-no, man. That's a big fucking no-no. Also, by the way, guys, if for those that are still paying attention, the anti-Semitic bill that they just passed, that is a dangerous bill, by the way. Let me see if I can pull it up. I just saw it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to read about it. I'm going to read about it later, but I didn't. Right, so the House passes an anti-Semitic bill that doesn't really fight anti-Semitism. It's more about controlling free speech. So I'm going to do more research on it, but I got the gist of it, and I'm looking at this thing, and I was listening to, what's his name from The Quartering. I'm like, yo, this is a problem. And they're trying to get rid of the First Amendment by coming up with bills to circumvent that, I guess. So follow the anti-Semitism bill really closely, because that's more about free speech than anything else. It's not about protecting Jews. We shouldn't have bills protecting one group of people, first of all. I don't give a fuck what's going on. We shouldn't have bills that are anti-Jew, anti-Chinese, no anti-anything bills. It should be it should be like an anti-asshole bill. First of all, it shouldn't even be bills. People should be handling shit on their own. The Jews shouldn't be looking to politicians like, please save us, create some more bills. We don't, moistulists don't want to fight. No. Take your fucking little habini off and start getting in there. Start fucking fighting back like the frat boys did in what was that, California. Stop depending on the government to save you. And I'm surprised that a lot of Jews are doing that. I'm really surprised that they're waiting for a bill to come out to save them. Enough already. These people are like, oh, they're doing... No. Yo, knuckle the fuck up and get in there. That is it, man. I mean, like, I don't understand... You know, guys are like, for example, there was this Jewish dude. I was just watching him on, might have been Instagram. But so Washington Square Park, there's a protest, or there was a protest over there, or the protest ended there. And he's walking through, and he was getting harassed. And NYPD was telling him that he shouldn't have walked through the park or something like that. And he was like, yo, I should be able to walk wherever I want to walk. You guys are supposed to, you know, protect me. He says, I'm going to walk around my yarmulke. They don't like it, you know. So the little fat Jewish kid dude was giving it back to them. But still, he should be like, you know what? I'm going to get more little fat Jewish dudes. We're going to come back and we're going to tussle. That's it. At the very least, guys, if you tussle with these fucking kids, you're going to make it worth their while. A lot of these kids, in fact, are not going to fight. But when you sit there and go, we need more laws and bills to protect us, we need more cops to protect us, no. That is the exact opposite of what you need. You do not need NYPD protecting you. You need to man the fuck up, knuckle up, and start charging these dudes. Period. If I saw a bunch of Jews fighting with Palestinian dudes, I'm getting in there. I'm like, yo, we're going to start breaking Palestinian backs. Because now at least they got in the fight, and I can get in the mix. I'm like, I want to throw some haymakers anyway. I need a couple punches thrown in my face. I could use a beating. But yo, I'd get in there. If I saw a Jewish guy getting the shit kicked out of him, I'm jumping in there. And then me and him are going to go back to back, and we're going to fucking start throwing Torahs and shit around. Use his fucking little yarmulke as a ninja star. Put points on it, start throwing it at people. Yo, we're going to get busy. But this shit of relying on fucking a police force, cops, politicians, get the fuck out of here, man. You're supposed to handle it yourself. There's enough Jews in this city that should be able to handle it themselves. Like, enough already with the fucking reliance shit, man. Enough. It's just this fucking... It's out of control. People just say, you know, but we need help and bills and signing laws. Laws do not stop criminals from criminaling. Ask fucking tens of thousands of women, probably hundreds of thousands of women, who have been killed by their ex because the law was supposed to protect them, and it didn't. So, people need to stop. They need to stand their fucking ground, and they need to fight back. Period. Yeah, right? Throw your yarmulkes. Yo, get a weighted yarmulke. That's the shit. had the weighted yarmulkes with like fucking metal ball bearings in them, so that when you throw them, it catches them in the face and hurts. The yarmulke with fucking ball bearings is the move, right? And then you yell some shit, like fucking the next Messiah or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever Jews yell, fucking oi, oy vey, whatever the fuck they yell. Just fucking let that be their battle cry as they fucking run at these kids and start beating them up. Whatever needs to happen, man. It has to happen. People have to defend themselves. We guys cannot rely on the government. Preppers. We can't rely on the government at all. And we can't rely on bills and this. We can't wait anymore. We have to do some shit. Right? So, these laws, guys, don't do shit. Laws don't stop people from hating blacks and hating Jews and hating the Chinese people and the fucking Indians, the dotheads, right? It doesn't stop people from hating you. It has to be, there is another way to stop it or to lessen it. But people don't want to be understanding anymore. People don't want to be compassionate. People just want to be angry. Yeah. I agree. I get into that conversation all the time with Jews about the whole religion and nationality thing. Gets them all the time. They get so mad. Oh, man. Listen, I fuck with everybody. Nobody escapes my wrath. Nobody. I don't give a fuck how Jewish you are or how Muslim you are. You're Muslimeen or Jewishy. Everybody gets it. But not the point, guys. The point is that there's a lot of shit going on, and things are going to get fucking exponentially bad, and I think it's going to get bad fast. Also, I have to mention this for those that are watching. There has been hundreds of swarms of earthquakes since the 4.8. What was it? 2 months? A month ago? A month and a half ago? And a lot of people are thinking, scientists are thinking that there could be a bigger one on the horizon. If there is a bigger earthquake, guys, yo, talk about fun times. If I survive the collapse of this building, or I happen to be outside when it happens, yo, this shit is on. Anything over 5, anything over 30 seconds is going to fracture and collapse a lot of buildings. Anything that's a minute long, you're going to see a pancake New York City. Toast. Toast, guys, especially these smaller tenements here. So, for those of us that live in New York, just pay attention to any new swarms that start happening. Again, there's a bit of a concern that the big one might be coming for the East Coast. You have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, enough with the Jew-fu fighting and shit like that. Here's another thing, guys, that's been getting very bad. Exponentially bad. I don't know what this has to do with. Maybe you guys will be able to tell me this shit. But, teachers and banging their students. Now, I remember when I was a kid, all of 13 years old, I remember there was a couple teachers, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be nice to fucking, at the time, make out with her, because I was a kid. Now I'm older, and I have kids, and I'm like, yeah, no. No dice. But a lot of female teachers, guys, are losing, I don't know what the fuck, man. I don't know what's going on with these female teachers. These female teachers, Johnny, thank you. Johnny 308, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I don't know. Tiger, thank you for the donation, man. I don't know what's going on with that, man. I really don't. These teachers, at least this one teacher, 24-year-old teacher, was caught making out with a 5th grader. The kid was 11 years old. There's something to be said about a 15, 16-year-old, maybe, at least for boys. But a woman who's making out with a 11-year-old kid, there is something demonically wrong with this woman. Seriously, I've never stopped. Of course, Anne-Marie's like, yo, stop. She's like, Jason, asshole, stop ignoring my comments. There's a lot of comments. The comments are flying right now. Sorry. After I hit like 800 or 900, I lose sight of a lot of this shit. And then I stop focusing on it. Yes, Carol is still underage. But an 11-year-old? And this chick was supposed to get married 3 months from now. Today. Yesterday. whatever it is. But the teacher's name is Madison Bergman. Is caught for abusing an 11-year-old boy. Came to light when the student's mother overheard her her son talking to the teacher on the phone. The victim's parents found texts between the pair, and the boy's father then stormed into the Rivercrest Elementary School with printouts of the conversation. Stop right there. Militant Roots, thank you for the donation. If my 11-year-old was making out with his teacher, the last thing I'm going to do is print anybody's text out. I'm not. The first thing I'm going to do is visit the teacher at her house. And then there's going to be some kind of dance. Painful dance, but there's going to be a dance. And then, matter of fact, I might let the wife deal with it. Or the girlfriend deal with it. Whoever I'm with, I might even call my sister up. Get my mother in there with her little old ass and her cane. We're going to get females to handle this shit. I might get a couple of chicks from around the neighborhood that I know. They're going to go to work on this chick. And it's not going to be a makeover. It's going to be way far worse than a makeover. So, I don't know why these parents stormed into the principal's office. There's no storming in. Anybody's banging my kid, there's no storming into the principal's office with letters and handwritten letters and harsh language. No. Fists are flying and heads are rolling. Period. There's no... But the thing is, I'm trying to figure out, why is this happening more? About 5 years ago, there was an article on teachers banging their kids, students. And in this article alone, in the 1 year, there were 23-something teachers caught. Caught! Not the ones that are getting away with it. Yo, if these chicks are getting caught, how many chicks are getting away with it? That's the true answer. And some will say that for those that got caught, there is double or triple the amount that are getting away with it. This is a problem. Teachers across the board are failing the educational system. The parents are too, but let's go with the teachers on this argument. Teachers should not be friending their kids. Teachers should not have your kid's phone number, ever. Your kids shouldn't be calling your teacher by first name. Your kids shouldn't be giving your teachers high fives and doing dance routines for TikTok. The teachers will come into school, teach the kids about whatever the fuck they're teaching, and then they go home. You should never have the phone numbers of your students, and that should be banned. Well, we need to get in touch with the students. The fuck you do. That's what email's for, and if you want to do that, you get in touch with the parents. Get the parents' phone number, not the student. Yes, you might have some irresponsible parents, so be it. But when you have teachers texting kids, sending nude photos of kids, and some kids, believe it or not, guys, and I'm not shifting blame, but you got some kids that are sending cock shots to their teachers. And some of the teachers are like, wow, look at that penis. I want me a 15-year-old boy. And that's how it starts. Or vice versa. They get into this chat. The chick fucking starts sending her pictures of her cleavage. And before the cleavage is nipples. And then off to the races. Technology has done nothing but ruin a lot of things. Now, imagine you're about to marry this chick, this lady you love, and you find out she's making out with an 11-year-old. She better be a registered sex offender after this. That's all I'm saying. A lot of these teachers, guys, are not being registered as sex offenders. That's the crazy shit. That's the thing I can't understand. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? How are teachers not being registered as sex offenders? The female teachers. They're getting away with a lot of this shit. My God, what card are they using? I was on my period. You know, I was having a hard day. My husband doesn't love me? Like, what excuse could you possibly use to be banging a kid? Kids creep me out. I can't look at a little girl and be like, oh, look at that. Like, not at all. I don't know how people see that. I just don't. I like my women old and big. Because if they're old, they can't run from you. You could kick their cane from under them, you know? Old women can't run fast. And then, and not for the other side of that coin is, older women know their business. Fucking kids don't. I don't understand the allure. I do not understand the allure with a small child or a teenage kid. Hell, I won't even date anybody under the age of, what am I, 46? Under the age of 40, maybe 38, maybe. And that's my threshold. How the fuck does somebody look at a 46-year-old, look at a 21-year-old and go, yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's some hot 21-year-olds out there, but I just can't do it. No, thank you, man. I like them old. I like them old and seasoned. That's how it should be. But, yeah, man, this shit, the kid shit, is out of control. And something's got to be done. I mean, listen, if parents took this into their own hands, I think more teachers would be scared about getting beat up by the parents than they would anything else. Because I don't understand these teachers, too. Here's the other side of the coin. You're dealing with kids. And the texting and a 15-year-old is banging fucking hot Miss Martyr. Miss Martyr's fucking a hot piece of ass in the school. And he's banging her, but he can't keep it a secret anymore because he's got to tell somebody. I got to tell somebody I'm banging this chick. I'm banging this teacher. And he tells his friend. And he shows his friend a picture of Miss, Martyr's vagina. And then it just carries on, and then it gets worse from there. Then the rumors start flying around. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself in a position that you are going to lose your job? And you will never, ever be able to get hired anywhere in the educational system. Shit, man, you won't even be able to get hired for a lot of jobs after that. I own the fucking Angryprepper, punch a nigga in the face company. And all we do is punch people in the face. Because some people deserve it. And you hire us and we punch you in the face. If a teacher, an ex-teacher walked into my office and was looking to get hired, and I saw that she was a teacher, and I go, whoa, what? What's this? She goes, oh, well, I banged a 14-year-old. I'm going to have her go outside my office. Yo, Miguel, you want to make a quick $25? Punch this bitch in the face for coming in here. Like, yo, she's not getting hired anywhere. Especially if they know her past. But, yeah, man, something isn't right. Something's bad. Because this shit, man, with the fucking, the teachers and the kids and the shaking their titties and videos, and some teachers are having full-on masturbation sessions with the kid doing a live stream. Sorry. But, what the fuck's that called? FaceTime, I'm like, yo, it is out of control. Out of control. Like, I just can't imagine that. I mean, again, when I was a kid, I'm like, man, I wish my teachers would have did that. But now that I'm a dad and I have teenage boys, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'd appreciate it now, Happens when you grow up. Turn into a bitch. No, just kidding. But still, man, this is a thing. And things are just getting worse. People are killing people left and right. There are dudes in New York. Yo, it's not even summertime. It's May 3rd. And there are dudes walking around the city punching women in the face. Follow me here real quick. Something is wrong when a certain group of people, there must be a telekinesis thing with people. There has to be. Because there's a trend with crazy people walking around punching people in the face. There's a trend when you have a group of people punching Asian people in the face. Oh man, you looked at that guy from Vietnam. Let me punch him in the face, Then you got fucking guys punching old women in the face. You got people punching Jews in the face. This was a few years ago, maybe. They were knocking their hats off, punching them in the face. But it was a trend. Like, where's this trend coming from? Is it being programmed? Is somebody programming these people? All right, the flavor of the month is old white ladies. And then, they type it in. They send the signal out to all the psych patients. The psych patients pop up in the bed at the same time. They're like, we got to punch old white ladies in the face. Like, something doesn't make telepathy. Yeah, Night of the Living Prepper. Something is wrong. It don't make sense that these people, like, are in sync with the insanity. I don't get it. But a lot of that's going on. And listen, if you're an old white lady, do yourself a favor. If you're in New York, keep your head up. Keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you can at least block the first hit. Because the first hit is the most devastating hit. Because that's the hit. That's the hit because you're not paying attention. The guy walked by you and he fucking does a hook. Make sure your hands are fast so you can block that first hit or take a lot of the blow with the first hit so you don't end up on the ground breaking your hips. There's a lot of shit going on, guys, and things are just going to... I think things are going to get bad really fast in the next couple of months. And if it doesn't, when Trump gets inaugurated, oh, hell's going to break loose. I told you right now, guys, I'm going to say it now. I'll say it again. When the inauguration comes for Trump, I am going to D.C. It is going to be hats and fucking horns. Holy shit, I can't... MK Ultra, Cat Girl, could be that too. Yeah, but guys, when you're in the city, man or woman, keep your head up. Whatever city you live nearby, keep your head on a swivel. Just because you live in, you live in a nice place, psych patients are popping up everywhere. Psych patients are doing some shit right now I don't even understand. But yeah, shit's getting out of control, and I think things are going to get more interesting as the months pass. I think we're going to see some fucking craziness. The earthquake thing, I am eyeballing, but shit, man. And I am eyeballing that, but we shall wait and see where that goes or how it goes. I don't know, guys. I think, like I said, things are going to get a lot worse. And if they get worse fast, we're just going to have to deal with it. There's not much we can do. We're not going to cry about it. I might bitch about it on here, but there's not much we can do. It's just be ready. Be ready for whatever the fuck it is, whatever comes your way. That's all we can do. Yeah, original one shot, one kill. Soros isn't just the problem. Soros is a problem. Don't get me wrong. But Soros stops, someone will pop up in his place. Soros is actively paying these people to hate on Jews. And if I'm not mistaken, Soros is a Jew, I think, or from a Jewish bloodline. Maybe he's mixed. Maybe he's like a German Jew. Whatever. Still, things are definitely going to get stupid. They're going to get stupid fast. And all you need to do is keep your head on the swivel. That's it. Silvergram, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. For things that don't get out of hand, if nothing does get out of hand, then the election will probably be it. The election will see some interesting shit. But anyway, that being said, I am going to go off the air now. I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel. You guys will see me next week, next Tuesday for the doubleheader. If anything happens with these protests, if they seem to get out of hand this weekend, I will be down there and I will film it. So, stay tuned for that. That should be fun. And yeah, that'll be it. I guess next Wednesday I'll have the midweek report. Doubleheader next Thursday. I think I start vacation next week. I'm going to make a trip to Sedona. I might be making a trip to Sedona soon this month, but we'll wait and see what that looks like by the end of the month. Yeah, but guys, other than that, I will see you guys a little later. Also, yes, guys, the Angry Truth is tonight. Sorry for not mentioning that. We're going to talk about bracing for the election storm. The election, like I said, is probably going to get out of control. There's a couple things that I want to discuss. One of them is martial law. We shall see what that's going to look like by the end of this year. But anyway, other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for following. Thank you for the donations. And I'll see some of you guys in a couple minutes.